Hello and a very warm, friendly welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving into the truly fascinating world of English accents. Now, do not worry at all if this feels a little new to you. We are going to take our time. We'll build your confidence together, step by step, as we explore these unique sounds.
Here is exactly what we're going to learn together today. First, a welcome to English accents. Second, understanding word stress. Third, the tricky letter T. And finally, fourth, the melody of speech.
All right, let's jump right into Section 1. Welcome to English Accents, Discovering the Differences.
Today we're looking very closely at how American English and British English sound different. It's really important to remember that just pronouncing a word is only one piece of the puzzle. In fact, accents are made of three main pieces. We have vowel sounds, the melody of speech, and a very important concept called stress. We're going to look at all of these together, making it super easy for you to understand.
Moving right along to Section 2, Understanding Word Stress, Making Sounds Louder.
Okay, let's learn what stress actually means in English. Stress is the emphasis or the loudness given to a specific syllable or part of a word. Let me read that one more time for you nice and slow. Stress is the emphasis or loudness given to a specific syllable or part of a word. You see, we make certain parts of a word louder and longer while we quickly pass over the other parts. We definitely do not pronounce every single part of a word with the exact same volume.
For example, take the word kingdom. The stress falls on the very first part of the word. Listen closely to me. Kingdom. Kingdom. Do you hear how the first part is loud and clear and we pass quickly over the second part? Kingdom. Now let's look at a totally different word. Undo. Notice how this stress shifts to the final part of the word here. Listen carefully. Undo. Undo. Do you hear how that second part is louder and much stronger? I really encourage you to practice saying it out loud with me right now. Ready? Undo. Great job. Understanding exactly where to put this loudness, this stress, can completely change how your English accent sounds.
Let's head into Section 3, the tricky letter T and how one single letter changes everything.
Here is a very, very common English sentence. That's better. Please look carefully at the word better. Notice the letter T right there in the middle. That's better. Now let's see how our two different accents say this exact same word. In American English, speakers use something called a flap T. The T sound becomes almost like a quick D. Your tongue briefly taps the roof of your mouth and drops quickly, literally like the flapping of a little bird's wing. Listen. That's better. That's better. But a British speaker will pronounce a very crisp, very clear T. Listen. That's better. That's better. Let's repeat that one more time together. American, that's better. British, that's better.
In American English, the letter T actually takes on three different forms. We have the regular T, the stop T, and the flap T that we just practiced together. Let's look at the first two forms right now, one by one.
First up, we have the regular T. This is typically found at the beginning of words, like the word table. Table. When you say this T, you must clearly expel air from your mouth. Try putting your hand right in front of your mouth and say it. Table. You can actually feel the air. It is a clear, unvoiced, aspirated sound. Table. Next, we have what's called the stop T. This happens when the T is at the very end of a word, right after a vowel sound. Take the word fat. Notice how the air just stops suddenly at the end? Fat. The airflow is cut off abruptly, and absolutely no air is released from your mouth. Let's try it together. Ready? Fat. Excellent work.
And finally, Section 4, the melody of speech, the beautiful music of language.
Let's talk about intonation. Intonation is the rising or falling melody and the musical tone of your speech. I will say that one more time for you very slowly. Intonation is the rising or falling melody and musical tone of your speech. You see, every single English sentence has a musical tone, and this music changes completely between different accents.
So how exactly does this music change? Well, many modern American speakers tend to use a rising intonation at the end of regular sentences. This means the musical tone goes up, making the sentence sound almost like a question. For example, listen to my voice go up. I'm going to the store. But in contrast, British speakers generally use a falling intonation. The tone drops down at the end of a statement. Listen to my voice go down this time. I am going to the store. Notice the difference there? The American music goes up at the end, and the British music goes down.
You have done such a wonderful job today. I really want to praise all your excellent practice on these foundational concepts. We've successfully covered how accents differ through pronunciation, stress, and musical tone. As we end this explainer, I want to leave you with a question to think about. Which accent melody sounds most natural to you? Think about that as you practice out loud at home. Thank you so much for joining me. Keep up the absolutely great work and get ready to dive even deeper into our upcoming lessons next time.